Hello everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day, and today I would like to share with you all my final thoughts on the Kunwu knives compadre. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is still available because I haven't checked, and I probably should have checked before making this video, but it's alright. I'll link down what I can in the description and you guys can go check for yourselves. I hope that it's still available because I genuinely don't have anything bad, like actually bad, to say about this. And for those who are longtime viewers of my channel know that I'm a really picky bastard. 99.9% of the stuff that I talk about and show off, I buy with my own money. And yes, this was a rather expensive purchase for me, but it's fine. I'm a happy customer. I'm very happy what I've received. This guy comes in at just about 300 bucks and maybe a couple bucks for like taxes or something else. I can't remember 100%, but it was, I know, a little bit less than the full-size one. Now, I did own the original full-size padre that was the same spec. It had the semi-polished DLC, diamond texturing, basically this exact same thing, just a larger version of it. And I will say that I am sad that I sold the larger one. I'm happy to have had the opportunity to be able to pick up the mini here, the compadre, right? It has just as much visual attitude and appeal as the larger one. Ergonomics are damn near the same, just as comfy. Usability, it's freaking awesome. Looks great, functions great. Very easy to take apart and maintain. The blade material, I can't say anything bad about it. While I've had a limited experience with Vanex, it's good to go stuff. I was able to put a low-angled aggressive edge on this. I actually have a video that I will hopefully remember to link down so you guys can see me sharpen this thing, just if you're curious. I think I put a 16 or 17 degree edge on here, and even though that's a pretty low number, this edge doesn't look too absurd on this blade here. Very even and consistent from heel to tip, and I'm pretty proud of that edge. Since then, I've done a shit ton of cardboard destruction, and you couldn't tell because it's DLC. This stuff is super awesome. It has that wow factor that just sends me through the roof, and I love it. I chase things with DLC, especially in this format, something nice and shiny, because I think it looks cool. It hits me in the right spot that it just makes me want it, right? And I know there's a lot of people out there that they can care less if it has some fancy whatever kind of coating on it, but I'm on the other side of the fence. I love this stuff. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I think it's great for an individual who likes a black blade but doesn't like getting it scuffed up and having permanent marks and things like that. I haven't been able to put this through anything to leave any large marks. I have some Spyderco products that have, you know, they're really matte powdery DLC, and it's a big difference. This shinier stuff is a lot finer. It's easier to clean, in my opinion. Right before shooting this, I actually just took a Clorox wipe and my t-shirt, and it looks freaking immaculate, right? This thing looks beautiful. It looks like I haven't even used it at all, but it's been in the pocket a lot. And this review and final thought video is well overdue, that's for sure. I've had this thing for a little too long and probably should have already put it out because, as I mentioned in my unboxing, there isn't a whole lot much about this more than I can say than I already did in the full-size version review of this. It's just freaking great. I love it. I genuinely love it. We're gonna go ahead, we'll do some size comparisons so you can see what this guy is all about. We'll take the weight. We already talked about price because I think it's important to talk about it when it comes to something that looks super fancy like this. For 300 bucks, that's not bad of what you're getting here. So, and we'll go through more details in just a second. Start with some larger ones just cause. Here is a full tie MSI. Let's do the Spyderco Manix 2 lightweight, and you can see how different the finish is. This is matte, very powdery. Everything sticks to it. It's a bitch to clean. I know you can use magic eraser and there's a couple little tricks and put oil and beeswax. You can do all sorts of stuff, right? But I can't just take a Clorox wipe to this and make it look like that. It's just not gonna happen. Completely different finish. Same, you know, material applied to it. It's just the finish is what, you know, it really tickles me. So that was the Manix 2 lightweight. Let's do a couple others. CMB made knives Predator. I think it'd be pretty sick if CMB made like a medium or a smaller version of this. They're capable of it. I think it'd be pretty cool and people would eat it up rather well. Here is a Civivi Vision FG. As you can see, these are already significantly larger than the Compadre. And now stuff that's a little bit more in line with this. Here is a Spyderco Native 5 lightweight with a DLC as well. And this, I actually have some deep scratches on this because of how hard I use that knife actually, despite it being a lightweight. Here is a Free Tiger model FT2103, wonderful little budget knife. This has PVD, a thick, healthy PVD coating on it. Won't ever compare it to DLC, but it's pretty good for 30 bucks. So it's those guys right there. Pretty darn close overall length. And the last one is going to be this guy right here, the CJRB Pyrite Light. This one actually has, and let me scooch this up a little bit. Yeah, let me give this thing a freaking wipe real quick because I want to show you guys this thing in all its beauty, because this is genuinely a beautiful knife. It looks like somebody made a blade out of pennies, like fresh minted pennies. It's supposed to be a rose gold, and yes, while actual rose gold has copper in it, this looks like it's full copper, and I think it's beautiful. You can see that it's a coating that's applied over a soft satin, just the same as this right here. And hey, I actually think this would be a nice thumbnail picture right here, or something like that, right? I think that'd be pretty cool. Maybe something like this or something like that. I don't know, but yeah. Completely different application of coating, definitely not as durable as DLC, but close. I would say it's probably more durable than a PVD, because I have done a lot of cardboard destruction with this and it can't hold up. Excuse me. let me rephrase that. The PVD coating that's typically applied to these is garbage. It can't hold up for nothing, but it's also a sub $30 knife, right? This is cooler for like 10 bucks more, right? You have the color flare and then the application of, you know, different material there. So there's that. This is pretty darn in line. I think because of the blade shape, this has just the tiniest bit more reach, but not by much. So well, that concludes the size comparison size knives. Hopefully those knives give you good visual representation of what this guy is all about. I wouldn't say it's small, it's compact. Let's get the weight on this. It doesn't feel like a Riverstone. It's not super dense. There's a lot of internal weight relieving, which is very impressive. 4 ounces sounds about right. It's pretty cool. I got no problem with that. So it's not something that you're really gonna notice in pocket. The only thing you will notice in pocket is this texture pattern that is right underneath the pocket clip here. And unlike a lot of other Kunwu knives, you don't get the option of a wire pocket clip. You get this wonderfully milled and executed tie clip here. I believe it's titanium. Yes, it's titanium. As well as a backspacer. There are other ones that aren't coated. There's like full stone wash and like, I guess, fully stoned out everything. But they still have the premium collars. These collars are Damascus, I believe. It's not Damascus or anything like that. It's just titanium Damascus. And they got some pretty good cuts of them. I think hopefully my camera can pick it up. I want to try using the little zoom feature here. Can I do that? I do not know how to use my zoom feature on my new phone. Whatever, not a big deal. I could just, you know, like a simple person, just bring it up close here. But yeah, so, oh, now my zoom works. What? Okay. So yeah, as you can see, the cut of Damascus that they're using has a good variation of color. I like it, as well as on the other side. I think even this one has a little bit more stripes and variation. Purples, plenty of blue, of course. In natural light with my own eyes, there is a tinge of orange on some of the bands. It's very, I'm not even focused. It's not very noticeable over my phone camera, but trust me, there is a little bit of orange in there, which I think is cool. But going back to the pod clip, it's riding on that aggressive diamond texturing. While the diamond texturing is awesome and it looks really cool, you are going to feel it going in and out of thick pant material. Now, what I've done is I've actually unsprung the clip a little bit because it was super snug to the scale. It's not tappy. It's not actually floating above it. It's still making contact, but the lightest amount of contact possible. In regular pants or dickies, typical jeans, denim, cargo, whatever, it's fine. But if you have really thick seamed pants, you're gonna have a little trouble with this, and that's kind of unfortunate. And the same goes for the large one too. I know I don't have it here with me to represent, but take my word for it. It wasn't super pleasant in and out of the pocket, but the overall design was enjoyable enough to make that little sacrifice and kind of just shred up my pockets anyway. Whatever. They're already falling apart anyway. So instead of buying new pants, I'm buying new knives, right? We have construction of T8 pivot here. You have T6 for the hardened steel insert. And over travel stop, there's a ceramic D10 ball. You have staggered, I guess multi-row ceramic bearings, but they're more like staggered, not multi-row. They're good. I do definitely enjoy the action. It's not as good as the large one because there's less mass to the blade, and I swear that this one is a little bit thinner. The performance of this thing is just wild. It is just wild how performance oriented this blade is. It comes down to damn near nothing, and it's awesome to use. It's even easier to sharpen as well. But what was I gonna say? Talking about the hardware as well. T8, these I believe are T8 on this side, but they're T6 on the pocket clip. A little odd, I get it. It's not perfect. I believe the full size one was all T8, maybe except for that one possibly. I can't remember 100%, but it was damn near an all T8 knife, which in my book is pretty close to perfection. If I were to ever create a knife, best believe that it's going to be all T8, no exceptions. So that means I will probably never work with Concept because they're on record for not giving a shit about what people think about their hardware. But these guys, they tend to just outdo themselves. Kunwu is definitely a wonderful knife company. I have never had any real issues with them, never any quality control issues. Through a wonderful individual in this community, Steven over there at Work Knife Balance, while he'll probably never see this or know that I'm shouting him out, and I do it a lot because I love the guy, he's great. He lent me his damn near entire collection of Kunwu knives because he's a Kunwu crackhead essentially, and he loves them as well. So he lent me a handful of them to check out. I made my content. You guys can go check it out if you want. And I just did my usual shtick, right? I carry them, sharpen them, critique them, sent them back to him. That was it. But I got to see where Kunwu started essentially and where they're at now. I mean, these guys are moving fast. They're moving really fast, and their prices do not reflect that, which is very impressive. I'd say that's damn near unheard of because we all remember when we Knife Co. thought that they could charge $300 for the most basic ass freaking knives. and then people just weren't buying them as much. People started complaining and bitching because we is not a company that really listens to their consumers when it comes to critiques and improving a model. They'll just discontinue it around Christmas time, put it on sale like 25% off, and then move on with something else. That's what we does because they're that size of company. I get it. That's how they run things. Not my problem essentially, but it is a problem in the knife community. And I will say that Kunwu knives, I hope they continue doing what they're doing and catering to the people who genuinely love their products. The people who own their products have multiples of different designs that are of their brand because they know they can come to expect the same amount of quality out of everything they spend their hard-earned money on. So, and again, this thing was $300. Ouch. Yes, that's a good chunk of money, definitely, for a knife. And just because it's a little bit smaller, more compact, doesn't, small knife doesn't mean small money, right? But I'm happy. I'm definitely happy with my purchase. I have no real complaints. One little thing that I noticed is that the coating on this side of the pivot, it's kind of worn off a little bit. It kind of came a little scuffed up, but because of how many times it goes in and out of my pocket and it's probably rubbed up against some stuff, it kind of came off. Not the end of the world. This is something that I have been using quite a bit, and it will continue to see a whole lot of use because it is just such a wonderful knife to use and fidget around with as well. It's probably just gonna get more and more scuffed up, so kind of sucks. They don't offer any spares with this as far as I remember. No body screws, and that's something that's a little bit of a departure for a lot of the other models that Kunwu puts out. They give you a bottle of lubricant, which is not vape juice. Do not vape that. The lubricant's fine. It's nothing crazy. Honestly, I would advise Kunwu to just stop doing that completely because those bottles do not stay sealed well. If you have them on their side, half the thing will piss out and just leak all over the place and make a mess. And you know what? Maybe that is just my experience, but I'd say for Kunwu, save your guys's. Put that little thing that you spend on and just put it towards more of maybe hardware. I would be very much appreciative if maybe I got a couple little bits of odd hardware pieces versus a bottle of lubricant that's just gonna piss out everywhere. And then the packaging as well, they kind of overdo it with the packaging. It's cool, and these are wonderful gift knives because there's so many like little things. There's a little baggie, the box, the presentation of everything is super well packaged with Kunwu knives. And with a lot of their other models, as I mentioned before, they do typically give a lot of extra pieces, but with the last couple releases, they've been doing less and less of that, which makes me believe that they're really tightening and buckling down when it comes to budgeting for packing as much effort and premium features and just wow factor into every new model that comes out. But they're trying to, I don't want to say cut corners, because they're not. Kunwu does not cut corners as far as I'm concerned, but I will say that there are things that they could save on, and there are things that they should continue doing to keep their people happy, because honestly they have a pretty good following, and I do definitely side with that as well. I do definitely enjoy Kunwu knives. And I think that is pretty much it. I don't have much else to say about this thing. It's awesome. It looks freaking great. It looks kind of wild. It has this odd, mighty moose knuckle blade shape, angry camel toe blade shape, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's wild. It's awesome to sharpen. Good blade material. The deployments, super easy. The D10 is basically perfect. The jimping for the front flipper, it's just awesome. This thing is just a genuine treat to actually use, carry, fidget with. It's a wonderful freaking knife. Everything is damn near perfect about it. Zero movement with the detent, move within the pivot just the tiniest bit, but there's really nothing there, nothing that I would be concerned about. Side to side, nothing up and down, beautiful. This is just a wonderful freaking knife, and you can see it already. My grimy little beaner thumbprints are all over this thing, and that's just kind of what happens with polished DLC. But yeah, I do love this knife. I do definitely recommend it. Hopefully they are still available. I know DLT Trading is a online retailer that does show these off every once in a while. They get batches here and there. If you find Kunwu knives at DLT Trading, you can get them shipped to your home within a week and a half or 2 weeks or so, versus 2 years coming directly from Kunwu, which is how long it took for me to get this thing, which kind of sucks, but that's how it is. We are spoiled with Amazon and super fast shipping methods and things like that. But if you find one of these on DLT Trading, just go ahead and get it directly from DLT Trading. And it's not like you're not supporting Kunwu knives because DLT Trading bought it from Kunwu knives and you're just getting it from somebody else. Not a big deal. You'll also get points on DLT Trading, which is pretty sweet. That's how I've been able to buy some of this stuff. I think the points that I got from this knife, I applied it to get my Christie Sabenza. So it took like, I don't know, maybe like $32 off. It was still a really expensive knife, but it's well worth it. Whatever, rambling on. So that's pretty much it. Love this thing, highly recommend it. I hope that they continue doing different variations of this, maybe bringing this into a more affordable format, something around the 150 to 175 price point, turning this into possibly a steel liner lock with their G-Mascus thing that they've been doing with some of their other stuff. I think that'd be pretty well received, and it would be nice to also see DLC of different finishes brought down to a lower price point to cater to the people who just don't have $300 burning a hole in their pocket. So I know I definitely don't, and it will be very far and few when I'll be able to do a purchase like this again. But regardless, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you are subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate all your support and your patience. Of course, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing so that I play more videos and content coming you guys this way. And with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.